The opposition National Democratic Congress is promising a solution-based manifesto as the party prepares to unveil the blueprint tomorrow in the central regional town of Winneba. The party is optimistic the manifesto will address key challenges facing the country. Although the document is yet to be made public, speeches by the party's flag bearer on the campaign trail gives an idea of what is likely to be featured. Marshal Agboba has been following and has come to with this report.
Supporters of the National Democratic Congress (NDC) gathered at the Jubilee Park in Tamale for the launch of the party's campaign. This event marked the beginning of what is expected to be an intense campaign period. Since the launch, the NDC flag bearer has toured the Upper East region, launched the Youth Manifesto at UPSA, engaged with the young people at Bukum, toured the Volta region, and more. Key among his messages, which gives an idea of what will be featured in the yet-to-be-launched NDC Manifesto, is a proposal for a 24-hour economy which the NDC flag bearer says will create jobs, and more jobs.
NDC has the men and the women. And it's not like what the MPP said, we have the men. And we didn't know they were area boys. And our first priority is going to be job creation, so that we can create jobs for the teeming youth of this country. And that is why I'm proposing the 24-hour economic policy. The policy is going to be linked with aggressive food production and modernization of our agriculture. And that's why I'm saying in every district we're going to create farmer service centers. We will bring the tractors, the planters, the plows, the seeds, the fertilizer. And if you're a farmer, you must register with the center. And at the beginning of the farming season, we'll give you all the inputs that you need so that you can produce your crops.
The establishment of a Women's Development Bank is also high on the agenda for the NDC flag bearer if elected. This, he says, will provide Ghanaian women with loans for their businesses. The NDC flag bearer has also indicated that scrapping what he describes as obnoxious taxes will be a priority. They include the betting tax and e-levy.
I say, the matter be street matter.
It be street matter. Yeah, if you talk pidgin.
Exactly, make it one pidgin. So my boys and girls on the streets, they are very happy. If only you assure us and promise us that you are going to abolish the 10% bed tax.
This one be the yawa of the day. You see, boys they hustle, and job no day. So now the bet they do small, get money for gobe. So we talk already. Say where we come, the betting tax will go remove them. E-levy too will go remove them.
John Mahama says he's committed to ensuring that first-year students at Ghana's universities do not pay academic facility user fees. Despite skepticism from some sections of the public, he says it is possible by cutting government waste, estimating the cost at between 270 and 290 million Ghana cedis. The NDC flag bearer says he will form a government of less than 60 ministers and deputy ministers of state. He says the future NDC government will improve the free senior high school policy and extend it to students in private schools. He also promises to fight corruption and hold corrupt officials in the Kufuor-led government accountable.
Abuga Pele is my friend. The National Youth Authority, himself and others were prosecuted during my tenure. I was not happy to do it, but I mean, one has got to do what he's got to do. And so, yes, we'll pursue corrupt officials and we'll deal with them. And when we are dealing with them, if somebody does the same in our administration, that person will also be dealt with. So I've sounded a warning. Everybody wants to be a minister, a CEO in John Mahamat's administration. If the Office of Special Prosecutor comes after you, You are on your own. I'm not a clearing agent. I will not clear you.
So members of the manifesto team met the Council of Elders of the NDC to brief them on the document. Former chairman of the NDC, Dr. Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, tells Joy News the party will present a superior document tomorrow.
Well, I think the expectations of Ghanaians is that they are looking for a very credible alternative policies that will be able to address the Hydra-headed challenges that we are facing as a country. We are in a country where there is, the economic downturn. There is unemployment rate has gone very high. The economy is facing challenges. The cedi is still falling to the dollar and has virtually reached its highest peak, nearly about 16 Ghana cedis to $1. As opposed to when the MPP took over from the NDC, when the dollar was just hovering around 4.2. And so cocoa production has plummeted, and today cocoa production that almost went to about 1 million tons during the era of the NDC is now almost below 500,000 metric tons. And so food production and food prices, food inflation has gone very high in spite of the planting for food and jobs that the government touted as one of their flagship programs. And so a lot of Ghanaians have been worsened as a result of the mismanagement of the economy, and it appears that this government has no clue as to salvage the sinking ship of the state. And so the expectation is that the NDC, having a very, very capable hands like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has proven that even in the face of difficulties, he can rise to the occasion. We all know during the time of the NDC, during the energy crisis, he came and promised the good people of this country that he will fix the doomsday situation, and managed to fix the doomsday situation to the extent that when the MPP came, they were even accusing the NDC of generating excess energy and therefore creating challenges for this country. So we have a president who has track record when COVID came, but for the visionary leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in trying to expand the health infrastructure of this country by building the University of Ghana Medical Center, the International Maritime Hospital in Tema, the Rich Hospital, the various hospitals across the country. It would have been very difficult, the Bank of Ghana Hospital and so on and so forth. So President John Dramani Mahama has proven that he is capable, he is visionary, he has a very solid hands-on approach of trying to practically address the challenges of this country, as opposed to the MPP, who theorize everything, but when it comes to practical realities, they are unable to address the challenges that the country is facing. So this manifesto is going to be a very practical-oriented manifesto that will try to address the challenges that we face as a country. It will address the unemployment situation by the introduction of the 24-hour economy. It will also come out of the big push where His Excellency wants to inject about $10 billion into infrastructure development and expansion. And we all know that when you talk about the infrastructure king, it is John Mahama. And so once you are expanding the infrastructure and there are a lot of projects going on, job openings will be there for everybody. Again, the 24-hour economy is going to trigger, expansion in productivity, and thereby a lot more people will be put on the job market. Again, I believe that with the economic enclave that has been created, we should be able to increase trade among ourselves. And for that matter, the demand for production is there. All what we need to do is to put the necessary infrastructure and the environment where productivity can be increased, so that trading among ourselves, even as African countries, I keep on saying that even in the cocoa industry. If you decide that Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire alone will be supplying cocoa derivatives to the African market, look at Nigeria population alone. So we'll be able to set up and expand more secondary production line for cocoa products, and thereby create more employment for our people. So the 24-hour economy will be a game changer. The 24-hour economy will make sure that our ports and harbors are able to operate optimally, and by so doing, a lot more workers also come on board. Already, there has been expansion of both the Tema and Takoradi port, which was initiated by the NDC government. And so it will be like the continuation of what we started. And I believe strongly that yesterday we had a briefing from the Manifesto Committee led by a chairperson, Professor Kwaku Dansobafo, and the people took us through the highlights of their manifesto, which I don't think that I have the permission to put them out because we are less than 48 hours or thereabout for the manifesto to be launched. But from the briefing that I got, I can assure Ghanaians that they should rest assured that the NDC is coming out of a workable manifesto, a more practical, resource-oriented manifesto that will address the challenges that is facing Ghanaians today.
You know, the Volta region is the stronghold of the party, but you have attributed Volta Apathy to how the party performed in this region. What are you doing this time around to solidify your presence in the Volta region?
Right, so we've heard the position of the council of the party. They've given the party the go-ahead to put this document out. And the venue tomorrow is Winneba, the University of Education. And Dr. Peter Otukonom is the NDC Manifesto planning chair. And he joins me live from Winneba. Dr. Otukonom, good afternoon. Welcome to the Pulse. And I'm thinking that Winneba is all fired up for tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Winneba is heavily fired up for tomorrow. And you need to be here to see the ecstasy, the energy, and the kind of activities on the ground. This morning, party people from all over the country have gathered, and they are moving through town, rallying around with brass band, the music, and all that, and it has changed the environment amidst the preparations that we are putting in place for the event tomorrow.
The former chairman of the party, Dr. Samuel Ofoswampo, says that you'll be...
Sorry, I'm struggling to hear you.
Yeah, of course. And I was asking, the former chairman of your party, Dr. Samuel Ofoswampo, says that you'll be presenting a superior document tomorrow. I mean, to what extent will this address the challenges the country is facing?
Indeed, the manifesto we'll be launching tomorrow would be nothing like you have seen before. And this is one of the most well thought through, well researched, well investigated, and well consulted documents that the NDC has ever done. And so, just as you saw from the Youth Manifesto, which actually shook the nation, this is going to be a pro-max of what we did with the Youth Manifesto. You should expect policies that we believe would inspire hope and will lift the country from the economic doldrums onto the path of acceleration and growth.
Is job creation the main focus?
At this point, where there is a state of hopelessness, high unprecedented unemployment, your manifestos and public policy cannot focus on any other thing apart from job creation, growth, and prosperity. And so our manifesto, among other things, would be focusing on job creation, most importantly, and prosperity.
You have a background in agriculture, and then currently, as we speak, even in the north, they are facing severe drought, and this has, been extended to parts of the Bonny region as well. The fear is that going forward, we might have issues with food security. The government of the MPP promised one village, one dam, says that they were going to...
Elton, I'm struggling to hear you. I don't know why.
Because I'm sure, because you are also in a crowd, it's difficult for you to hear me.
But I think it's better now.
All right, so I was talking about your background in agriculture and the fact that we are having a potential food security issue going forward because of the drought in the northern part. Now we are experiencing it in the Bono region. The government promised 1 village, 1 dam. I'm wondering what the NDC position is on this particular matter as we launch your manifesto tomorrow.
So first of all, let me mention that Ghana is not at the verge of a potential food security challenges. We have been actually having food security challenges from last year. We have decried the efforts, we believe, an effort that is taken over by rent seekers, an effort that is not well thought through, that is not well consulted, and so the policy programs are unclear, lack of transparency at the policy in agriculture and all those things. And that is the result that we are reaping. Forget about the fact that there is drought. If indeed our agricultural policy is functional and it's responsive, you will not have problems with that. As we speak, the dam has been opened. And when the Bagri Dam opens, you see what happens to people's homes. So where is the Bagri Dam going? The water that is coming, where is it going? So the issue of drought shouldn't be the problem of Ghana. The problem of Ghana is how we have managed agriculture policy in order to develop efficient and robust irrigation systems. That has been our government that came to lie to us about 1 village, 1 dam, and they gave dugouts that never held water to about 10 cubic meters, and they called them dams. And none of the dams is functional across the country. And so that is the government paying lip service to agriculture. And that's the results we are seeing. All of us are bearing the brunt of the mismanagement of the Akufo-Addo government in the agriculture sector, and indeed all sectors. When you look at food security, as I have always said, food security ostensibly has 4 legs. And so you are looking at, above all other things, availability of the food. So production of enough food. You are looking at affordability. The price should be down. And you are looking at utilization. You are looking at the quality of the food, the nutritious nature of the food. And finally, you are looking at the sustainability of the food. So that if I eat today, tomorrow I shouldn't go hungry. It is very worrying and frightening that right now it's been published that some 8 million Ghanaians at certain point in time went to bed without food during the day. That is most frightening. For a population of about 33 million, and you have 8 million going to bed without food, your nation is at the threat of famine, and that is a worrying situation. It has to do with both the household income and the production of food, because as it stands now, all our food are imported food. Our food systems have been completely ignored, and the Ghanaians have been trained and programmed to now consume imported food. So every single food is imported. Your economy is also mismanaged in a manner that exchange rate is on the roof. Your cedi has depreciated so bad. So if that is the case and it continues to increase, then it means that food will continue to increase. Then indeed, even if the food is imported, you will not be able to afford. And even if you are able to afford, you can't afford tomorrow. It means that sustainability challenges will also come in. That means that food security has collapsed, and you are virtually in the state of food insecurity. And so this is something that public policy must solve, and that is what the NDC is doing. And tomorrow you will see fireworks. Particularly pay attention to agriculture, because agriculture is going to drive the next frontiers of our economy.
So apart from the Farmers Service Center we've been promised, you have a solution to the challenges that you just enumerated.
Anthony, it appears you have a problem with patience.
Of course.
So just wait some more. Don't drink the soup before the fufu is ready. Tomorrow you will see what we have for you.
What will be your answer to those who say that we are likely to hear almost what we were told by the MPP last weekend?
Sorry, I lost you.
I'm asking, what will be your answer to those who say that we are likely to hear what we were told by the MPP over the weekend?
Absolutely not. We are nowhere. In fact, we are so incomparable to the MPP. And comparing us to the MPP is like comparing apples and oranges. What they did is substandard. The content of their policies lack sincerity. It actually lacks even understanding. The source of their policy proposals is even defective. The inconsistency in the policies themselves, the policy incoherence and all that. So we are nowhere compared to them. Even we did at the Youth Manifesto. And that should be
Well, so we appears to we are not having a good connection to. Yes. Yes, I can hear you, Doctor. If you are making a point about a comparison.
Is that what? Sorry, I can't hear you.
So I asked about a comparison, and because after the launch of the Youth Manifesto and the launch of the MPP Manifesto, I mean certain wording appears to be rhyming. I mean there's a mention of women's bank, for example. Dr. Bawumia says I will set up a women's fund. The former president says that we will train 1 million youth in IT. Bawumia says same. There's a talk of the free senior high school program. All of them say that we are going to improve upon them. So there appears to be some similarities about how.
Okay, so see this. This is a government with reality. A government that is disconnected from the people. A government holding on to straws. A government that has been collapsed already. And they see how President Mohammed's policy proposals have become very responsive to the youth. And how the youth and the people of this country are responding to the policy. You can't stop them from copying it. But all these policies that they copied in their manifesto, President Mahama openly announced them and saw the response of the people to those policies. It will take only government that lacks vision, that has lost touch with reality, and that have no original plans and proposals for the people to copy our policies. And that's what they did. And that's why they are not able to explain the policies as we are able to explain the policies. And so you are going to see, in addition to what President already announced, a bit more strong, robust policies that you and I, when we listen to the modalities and the implementation plan, will be heavily convinced, and at least would embody some that indeed Ghana oil is not lost. And if Akufo-Addo has killed all the, please, there is an ounce that we can hold on to continue fighting for Madagascar.
All right, Dr. Peter Otukono, thank you so much. He's the chairman of the NDC Manifesto Planning Committee, and tomorrow the content of it will be told Ghanaians from Winneba, that's the Education Ministry. But some are already speaking ahead of the official launch tomorrow. Some residents of Kumasi have been sharing their perspective on the expected policy direction of the main opposition party, the NDC. Respondents, mainly commercial drivers, artisans and traders, are concerned about the economic initiative to drive down costs of fuel, spare parts, taxation on essential commodities.
For this Saturday coming, Mahama Manifesto want to launch for us. We don't want any waga propaganda things to us. As you know, this is very serious election. So we want the truth from the politicians. We don't want any propaganda things from us. We want the truth. If you say you can do, just come and do. If you say you can do, just tell the truth for us.
Adia Bakua, yeah, papa, JDM, Eka, Ebaya Meda, because me Jadini, Midija, and see.
As a businesswoman, I am particularly excited about the Women's Bank because the interests on loans these days are really huge.
Sometimes you will mezi ye how kese ewo mezi mu pass no nyina ekosoro.
The prices of spare parts are really expensive here at Magazine. If he can include it in his manifesto, we would be glad to vote for him.
How no sa eyi no a omo tax no a omo de atoto so no omo nyimaye na de bema price no nso aba from kakra amaye.
Our expectation is to see to it that artisans enjoy their side of the national cake. They should have more TVET training and more training for our artisans so that they can also be abreast with what is going on in the world now.
But me, every
If Mahama can clear all the police officers who take bribes, I'd personally be happy because we don't get enough as drivers and we must pay these officers too.
Before so be free, no, na praga ye tono 70 80.
Before Mahama exited, the tricycles were selling at 70 and 80 Ghana cedis, but now it's expensive. He should be able to reduce the prices of goods.
So that's here. In Timpa, I may say, your father JM or by Woman, no matter, woman to 10 years. Mamma, near Pano. What did he tell me about me, Papa? No.